Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, one of the leading providers of HR, payroll, retirement, and software solutions for businesses of all sizes. My name is Steve Boese. The post-pandemic shifts in healthcare jobs and employment. The U.S. economy continues to surprise many economists who thought a recession was imminent, with the labor market being a key driver of resilience. A big reason for the strong labor market? Your local healthcare system. Healthcare contributed 70,000 new jobs in January, accounting for almost 20% of the additions to the American workforce. The new hires included people who work in hospitals, outpatient centers, and nursing and residential care facilities. Labor market analysts can expect strong hiring to continue this year, largely due to a structural shift underway as the pandemic recedes. Hospitals are relying less on the temporary help they needed when COVID-19 was at its peak and more on full-time staff as normal routines return. This workforce restructuring is a benefit for healthcare providers that had to absorb significant increases in pay for traveling nurses during the pandemic, who are now seeing their labor cost mix trend back to more traditional levels. But this can be a potential reckoning for large publicly traded staffing companies that provide many of those contract workers. To understand why healthcare hiring is changing, it helps to understand how COVID-19 upended staffing across the industry. As turnover accelerated and demand for healthcare workers spiked in different parts of the U.S., many hospitals turned to contract and travel nurses for help. Overall, total healthcare staffing volumes more than tripled during that time, with the travel nurse subsegment growing even faster. And those contract and travel healthcare professionals are expensive. For instance, AMN Healthcare Services in 2019 billed hospitals about $75 per hour for temporary staffers who were largely nurses, according to industry data. That then surged to over $145 per hour in March of 2022, or almost double the pre-pandemic rate. The use of these contract workers has begun to unwind as hospitals take on a larger permanent workforce. Some job gains in the healthcare sector have been offset by losses in the temporary sector as well. Despite the shift in the mix of staffing back towards regular and permanent staff and away from contract staff, the need for more overall healthcare staff remains. Patient volumes are high as people are now getting procedures they put off during the pandemic. Add that to aging baby boomers needing more healthcare services, and it's a long-term trend that will continue to grow. As the post-pandemic market for healthcare workers continues to evolve, one newer development has been the creation by some hospitals of their own in-house temporary staffing companies or float pools. These allow nurses who typically work 3 times a week for 12-hour stretches to voluntarily sign up for additional shifts if they want and the need arises. Healthcare is the largest subcomponent of the overall U.S. labor market and an important one to continue to observe and understand, as its impacts are significant to the overall economy. We will continue to monitor and report on these important trends here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. That's it for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors.